welcome back to Wanderlust Books, and today I'm doing my February wrap-up. So in February I read a total of 4 books, and that is pretty good because I've been super busy in February and pretty much throughout the entire year already. If you didn't know, I'm trying to read 50 books this year instead of the try to make goal I made last year, which was 100, that I failed miserably because I got really stressed by the end and then I got in a really bad book slump, which I'm still trying to get out of a little bit. And so I only read 4 books this month. I'm already 3 or 4 books ahead of schedule because I read a total of 11 books out of 50 in 2015 so far, and so let's get into the books. So the first book I read this month, I already did a review on, and that is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and so I will put a link to the video right here, but I will do a very tiny synopsis of the book right now. So Red Queen is this kind of young adult fantasy novel that follows red bloods and silver bloods in the world, and so red bloods are pretty much just normal human beings that are around right now. They have no powers, nothing special about them really. They're kind of the low lives in the world. And the silvers are these people also in the world, but they have these godlike ancestors, and so they have all these weird powers where they could like manipulate water or the earth or your mind. Or so our main character, Maribaro, she is a red blood and she's just a normal girl. She's trying to get by, trying to help her family out to get some money in the world. And she ends up getting into the castle that has the princes and the king and queen in right now, and she becomes a servant. And so during that time, as she's a servant, she finds out that she has special powers and that she's a mixture of red and silver blood. And so pretty much just her journey trying to figure out what she is and how she's going to live in this world as a mixture. She's trying to keep it secret to everyone. And it was just a really great fantasy novel. It was a really quick read. It didn't go that in depth in the world, and so I heard that the next book coming out is a lot more in depth in the world, which I'm really looking forward to. So if you'd like to know more of my thoughts in a little more depth synopsis, I will put my video here or in the description below, and you can go check that out. Now on to the second book I read this month, and that was the second volume of Saga by Brian Vahagan. And I read Saga Volume 1 in December 2014 last year, and I really loved it, and I picked up Saga Volume 2 this month, and I loved it even more. I heard they get even better as time goes on. I hope to read the 3rd and 4th one, hopefully in March or maybe in April. So if you don't know what Saga is about, it's about these 2 people that are from different galaxies in the world, and both of their galaxies or planets are fighting each other and they don't get along. And so it's about these 2 people, they fall in love, they make a kid, and it's just pretty much them trying to protect their child throughout this crazy war that's going on in between their worlds. And it was really good. It's very graphic and it has strong language, so if you can't read something like that or you don't want to, then Saga isn't really for you. But I really enjoyed it, and if you can look past the goriness or the bad language, I mean, I don't care personally. I really enjoyed this graphic novel series so far, and I can't wait to pick up the 3rd and 4th book. So the next book that I read in February was The Last Man, also by Brian K. Vahagan. I was in a very big Brian K. Vahagan kick, and I read this novel. It's a graphic novel, but it reads like a novel because it's about 300 pages. It is very big. I also did a review on this book. If you'd like to check it out, I will put the link on the book as I'm holding it, but I will do a small synopsis for you right now, and you can go to the video if you'd like a more in-depth review. So Last Man is about this plague that happens in the world, and it pretty much wipes out the entire male population except for the main character Yorick and his male monkey. And so it's pretty much his story and a few other perspectives that are going through this entire situation. There's villains, aka the Amazon girls, and it's really great to read because you get to see how the world would be kind of like without men on it, and it is a very hard world to live in, it seems. And so if you would like a more in-depth review on this entire book, I do a 3-minute synopsis in the beginning of my video, and then I get really spoily in the aftermath. And so I really enjoyed this novel. It was really great. The art is really cool. It was very sketchy and really interesting to read about. I gave it about 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was a really great structure for the series. I heard the series gets even better as time goes on, and so I'm really excited to read the next few series that's happening. The end of this book was a wow factor, and so if you really can't get into it, I would suggest trying to kick through it because the end is really great, and then that helps bring into the other books, which also makes it even more amazing. And so yeah, if you want to read another graphic novel or an even longer graphic novel, I would suggest picking up The Last Man. Alright, so the last book I read was pretty much because I was on a Parks and Recreation kick the entire month, and I was very sad that it was ending. If you didn't know, I did a Parks and Rec tag video where I did all questions about the Parks and Rec characters and affiliated them with books and characters in my library. And so the next book that I read was Yes Please by Amy Poehler. I am very obsessed with Amy Poehler. She is an amazing woman, and I really enjoyed Yes Please by her. So this is pretty much her biography. It was really great. You got to see the background of her through her beginning of improv phases and acting phases, and there's a lot of history of her childhood and how she fell in love with New York, and it was just really great read. You got to read about her marriage and her kids and Parks and Recreation, because that's a really big part of her life, moving to LA and filming the series. And so I would really recommend picking these up if you love Amy Poehler, or if you just love Parks and Recreation in general, because I really enjoy her sense of humor and her advice that are in this book. It's also kind of a mixture of a self-help book. She does give a lot of great advice, and I really like to read her views on things, and it was just really, really interesting, and I would recommend picking it up for anyone who really just loves Amy Poehler. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I need more. It's very heavy. It's a very heavy book, and I was having a hard time carrying it around with me a lot. Alright, so that is pretty much all the books that I read in February. I read a total of 4 books, like I said, and they were all fantastic. If you would like to know any more in depth of these, please let me know. If you liked any of these books also, feel free to talk to me about them in the comment section below, and I would love to hear back from you. Also, please tell me any books that you read in February. I love to see what you guys have read, and it does help me out with the little recommendations secretly. So please give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out by knowing that you actually like my content, and it helps you out by finding me in your search engines better. Also, please subscribe if you'd like to see me in your subscription box every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you will be able to find out all the booky things about me. And that's pretty much all I have, and so thanks for watching. Bye!